I need more. Or he's gonna walk. I'm gonna see if you have the guts to be honest. You think you're gonna run me? You don't have any idea who I am. I promise nothing's going to happen to you.
Look, he's gonna take me. Help me, please.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Screenstars. I'm here today to bring you my review for the 2013 thriller The Frozen Ground. The film is directed and written by Scott Walker and it stars Nicolas Cage, John Cusack, Vanessa Hudgens and Dean Norris. Now the film tells the true life story of how Sergeant Jack Halcombe apprehends the notorious serial killer Robert Hansen, who operated in Alaska from like the 60s, 70s and 80s. He was apprehended in 1983, I believe. And the film focuses on Nicolas Cage's character's journey on how he gets involved and how he eventually brings down the serial killer. It also focuses heavily on Vanessa Hudgens' character, Cindy Paulson, who is one of the victims of Robert Hansen, who manages to get away, becomes integral to Nicolas Cage's case, however, and keeps getting embroiled in dangerous situations. Right, what are my thoughts on The Frozen Ground? I've been wanting to check this film out for a while. I'd never seen it before, which is why this is a first-time watch review. Obviously, I'm a big fan of Nicolas Cage, and anybody that watches my content will know that. I think he's obviously an outstanding actor. And I like serial killer movies, and especially movies that are kind of based on real-life serial killers, as this one is, of course. So, you know, this has got a lot of stuff going for it that I'd really wanted to check out. And I've had this in my collection, Blu-ray, for probably a couple of years. I just never got round to watching it. And I think what made me really pull the trigger and right, okay, I'm definitely going to watch this now, was after seeing Longlegs, if you like, because obviously Nicolas Cage plays a serial killer in Longlegs. And this time round, in this film, he isn't the serial killer. He is the, the officer of the law that's chasing down the serial killer. We've got John Cusack who's playing the serial killer here. So I wanted to kind of see the other side of the coin, if you like, from Nicolas Cage's perspective. And I have to say, I think this is a solid film. It's a really well done, like, procedural police film where it focuses far more on the case, Nicolas Cage's case, and Vanessa Hudgens' character Cindy Paulson. Not so much the serial killer Robert Hansen, played by John Cusack. You get bits and pieces of that, but he'd been operating essentially for decades, really. And you kind of get to see snippets of him doing what he does, but it doesn't focus heavily on that. It focuses far more on the investigation and one of the victims that got away. And I have to say, I thought Vanessa Hudgens' performance here was outstanding as Cindy Paulson. Really damaged young lady because of A, upbringing, and B, what happened to her at the hands of Robert Hansen. And also one of the most frustrating characters I've experienced in films, because you really feel for this young woman, and the performance really draws you in, but she keeps making the most stupid decisions that really wind you up when you watch the film. She keeps pushing away Nicolas Cage and, doing the right thing by constantly making poor decisions consistently throughout the film, that almost each decision that she makes that's really poor almost costs her life in one way or another. I found her character incredibly frustrating, but at the same time, it's based on a real character, so I would imagine much of what happens in this film is fairly accurate. I mean, obviously, this is Hollywood, and I suspect they've taken some creative license, as they do with these sort of things, but I would imagine the beats of the story are pretty much the same here. And I have to say, I was impressed with John Cusack as well. And I don't say that often. I have to be honest here. I've never really taken to John Cusack. I've never seen the appeal. He kind of, for me, I don't know. I've just never been overly impressed with his acting or his acting style. But he's good here. He's playing this pillar of the community person, but at the same time, underneath is this sinister, evil man. And you get to see both sides of that from John Cusack. You get to see the unhinged side, and you also get to see him pretending to be a pillar of society or pretending to be a family man, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was a strong performance from him as well. And I wonder, and I was meant to research this, but I forgot, if I'm honest. I suspect the serial killer based on, the last series of Dexter, the one where he came back and it were based, was it Alaska? Whatever. The killer that Clancy Brown played in that, I suspect that killer is based off this killer, Robert Hansen, because their MO is pretty much the same. I don't know that. Maybe one of you guys watching could confirm that in the comments, but I suspect he definitely was. So, yeah, I mean, this is a very, very watchable film. Very, very solid. Good performances, draws you in. The story draws you in. It's not. I don't know if a typical serial killer film is what you would say, but it doesn't worry itself, if you like, with I don't know, over dramatizing things. I mean, you've got a reeled in Nicolas Cage, but still a very solid performance by him, because this performance, and this is what I really enjoy about and love about Nicolas Cage, he knows when to turn his dial up to 11, and he knows, depending on the part that he's playing, when to reel himself in and just give a very solid acting performance, which is what he gives here, as this guy, this uncompromising police detective who will not back down. He will not compromise until he has found this killer. And I really did enjoy his performance as well here. So we've got a trilogy, like a triangle here of top performances in this film. You've got Cage, Vanessa Hudgens, and John Cusack, all at the top of their game here in this film, and it delivers quite a thrilling movie for the most part, and one of those films that when you start seeing the facts and stuff, you kind of like, really, did this guy? Because my understanding is they convicted him of like the killings they could prove, but there's evidence to suggest that there are far, far more people that he was responsible for killing. The film kind of touches on that as well. So if you like a good serial killer film, if you like these, police procedural type serial killer films, I think you'll enjoy this. If you're a fan of Cage, Cusack, you're definitely going to enjoy this. It's one I can recommend. It's a solid watch, and I'm glad I have certainly checked it out. So thanks for joining me for this review, guys. I will, of course, be back with plenty more reviews and content on the channel very, very soon.